Hello, good noon everyone. This is third video in our series of AI assisted full stack development. In the first video, we discussed the core technologies and key focus areas that a student or a developer should work on to become an AI assisted full stack developer. In the second video, we started building strong fundamentals by focusing on our core logic using C programming language, where we explore a simple Hello World program. To become a complete and confident developer, it is extremely important to begin with strong basics and gradually move towards AI assisted full stack development. So we will continue our C programming language fundamental things. In the third video, we will cover important foundational concepts such as variables and input output operations. So, so while we move towards variable and input and output operations, so first thing, what is the software? Uh, so software is a collection of program and related data that instruct the computer to perform a specific task. So for an example, this PowerPoint presentation is a software, YouTube is a software, Windows is a software. So whenever we are using something for some purpose on the computer, so everything over there is a software and it is nothing but a collection of program. Even the Google Chrome browser itself is a software. So the next question is program. What is a program? Program is a set of instructions. So yesterday we have seen one program which is like hello world program. So program is a set of instructions written in a programming language. For our example, it is a C language to solve a specific problem or to perform a specific task. So for an example, in our hello world program, we are performing one task, which is like we are printing hello world on the console. So that was our task. Compiler. Okay, what is a compiler? So compiler is a special type of software that translates high level programming language into machine code so that computer can understand and execute it. So whatever we have written in our hello world program is not as is executed. First, compiler comes in between. It converts that code into the machine language code, and then it gets executed to produce the required output as well as to produce as well as to perform the given task. Yeah, so in our case right now, GCC is a popular compiler. Right now what we are using is a turbo C compiler. So now I think we are good with what is software, program, and compiler. Okay, so compiler is our friend which converts the high level language code into machine level language. Program is a set of instruction for performing some task, and software is a collection of program that enables us to that gives user some sort of functionality. For an example, browser, Windows, and so on. Okay, so let's work on algorithm. Let's talk about algorithm and flowchart. What is algorithm and what is flowchart? So algorithm is basically step by step pro procedure used to solve a problem. It defines the logical sequence of action required to achieve desired result. So let's say I want to print hello world on the console. Okay, that is my task. So what is the how the algorithm looked like? Okay, so let's go here uh, and let me show you the algorithm. Okay, okay. So my algorithm would look like start, clear the screen, display the message hello, wait for a key press event, and then stop. So look at the program here. Okay, that's what exactly we are doing here. We are clearing the screen, we are printing hello world, then we are waiting for a character, and then we are returning. So, and main is the function which is a starting point. So this is our algorithm, and flowchart is nothing but a graphical representation of an algorithm. So let's revisit our program. Hello World program. Okay, so Hello World program begins with this. hash include stdio.h. So let me show you in the real console. Yes. So it begins with hash include stdio.h. So basically what we are doing, this is our file. Hello.cpp is our file, and in this file we are including standard input output header file into it. By including this standard input output file, we can use functions like printf and scanf. These are some of the built-in function which are given to us for printing something as well as for reading something. Okay, so scanf is the another function which is used for reading something. And then we have included hash include conio.h. So conio.h means uh, console input output header file. So console input output header file deals with some function which is like clr that means clearing the screen. Get ch or put ch, that means get a character or put a correct put a character. So that's how we can use those function and basically implement, give the instruction in C language so that our machine does the task that we want. So when we are explaining this program, its starting point is a main function. Main is a function. Function always returns some value. If it doesn't return any value, then basically we use void main as a void as a return type. So this is the syntax. Int space main opening bracket closing bracket. So where main is the name of the function and main is a starting point of program execution. For other functions we can use different names, but there has to be one function which is a main function, and it is a starting point of any program execution. So whenever we run this program or we debug this program, let's say we debug this program, okay, it will start from it will start from main and followed by clr printf get ch and return. So I am just explaining the same simple program in great detail so that the new people, the fresh people, they can understand what this exactly program is. We can simply give one instruction to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to, hey, give me the hello world program in C language. It will give us this program. However, understanding the basic is very, very important, and that's the reason I am walking you through all those small steps. So I hope that help you to understand the program. So basically, you you should know what is the software, what is the program, how compiler compiles the program. Algorithm and flowchart are very, very important because whenever there is a task given to you, you should think in terms of algorithm or flowchart and then write the code. Nowadays we can quickly generate the code. Even for generating the code, we should understand that code, and then only we should use that code in our software. So that's why from scratch we should first build our logic by thinking how I can implement this task. So let's say your task is print the hello world program. So you start with writing the algorithm, which is this thing. Okay, you want to start the program, you want to clear the screen. Suppose on the screen there is something written, you want to clear that screen, and then you want to display the message. Then you know that program execution will end and you won't see that console window. That's why you want to wait for a key press whenever you are running it locally on the website. You don't need this step number 4, but on the local environment you need this step number 4. And then you want to stop, or basically we can say exit. And that's our solution to the problem that I want to display hello world string. And then you make use of, now once you have the algorithm in your mind, you can basically follow syntax specific to different languages and achieve the same thing. So for an example, for C language, we know the main is the starting point, so we have written int main, because the main function is written in integer, we are ending the program with return 0, and in between we are doing those steps, which is like clearing the screen, clr scr, printing the string, printf is the function with this particular syntax, and waiting for a key is get ch. So this is how we are doing it, and that's what our exactly program is doing here. Okay, so if I run, it will execute hello world. Now it is waiting for a key press. I enter the key and it is returning, and we come back. So now this is all about the first program and its more details. Now let's move on to understanding the variables and input output operations. So basically, before we move on to the variables, input output operation and format specifiers, basically let's focus on two important function, which is like printf and scanf. So I will slightly modify the existing code uh, so that we understand the printf and scanf function, and basically we understand the variable and input and output operation over here. So let's say our next task over here is, okay, so our next task is display a message to user. Okay, okay. So what will be that message? One second. Sorry for this. Oh, sorry for this trouble. Okay, I will just change the same program here. Okay, so what is our task here? Let's say I go at the top, and now these are comments. I can put double slash or slash star, then star slash. So basically, comments means we are giving instruction to the compiler that hey, you ignore these lines, and these lines are for humans, the other developers or programmers. Okay, so I want to write a program. Okay, and that program will uh, display a message to the user that what message we want to display, enter your age. Okay, and then we want to uh, print the age of the user on the same console. Okay, and here what we will learn, basically we will run the input output operation, the printf function. What will be our learning? Printf function, scanf function, and uh, variable, basic variable like common variable, and format specifier. Okay, okay. So let's begin with the algorithm. How my algorithm will look like here. Okay, okay. So basically, I will first start, means I will write the main function. Then I will clear screen basically. Then what we will do, we will display a message, to the user that hey, enter your age. and fourth string we will read that message and store that message in memory. And our fifth step would be again display the age of the user. And finally, we will get a character, means wait for a key, and then we will stop. Okay, so this will be our algorithm. Okay, and I will make changes in the same program. So basically now I'm repeating my problem statement here. What we are exploring here, we are exploring printf function, scanf function, variable, and format specifier. So this is our, after hello world, this is our first simple program in which we want any user to display, like we will give a message to the user that, hey, display, tell me your age, or enter your age. User will enter his age, and then I will read that age and I will display the same message that, hey, your age is the same number I want to display. So it will be a simple program. Okay, so again, int main is our starting point. Integer means the main function is going to return the integer value. Main is the starting program. Opening cursor, closing cursor. CLR SCR is our second step in the algorithm. If you look at this algorithm, we are clearing the screen. And third is display the message, and my message will be enter your age. Okay. Okay, so here I am asking user to enter his age, and then I am writing. So here I want to read that age. So basically I will be using the scanf function, which is again part of stdio.h. So scanf will be my function. So the syntax over there is, so before I before I use scanf, I need a variable to store that age. So right now I'm displaying it as an integer. User will enter his age in terms of integer. So this is the syntax for displaying. Int is the type of that variable. That means integer is the type of the variable, and age is the name of the variable which we will be using. And the syntax for reading this particular age is percentage %d and address of age. Okay, so basically when we are writing this int in the program, when compiler is compiling, it creates a variable age over there. And what we are telling by this scanf is like percentage %d means read some integer type of value, and where you will store that value in the memory, store that value in the address of age. So basically you imagine that a box gets created called as a age, and that age is pointing to some memory location, and we are we are asking our compiler to store the entered value into that particular location, and then basically we will print the same thing. We want to print on the next line, that's why I'm using /1/n. Your age is, yes. Okay, and now we know after printing this line, we are on the local environment. So compiler, the console will not stop there, and it will exit from the program. And I want to see the output. That's why I will put get ch. Get a character is the function I am using. And yes, and return 0 is like this main function returns integer value to the operating system. That's why we are returning 0 over here. So this is how we have completed our task. So yes, this was our objective, a task. This is our algorithm, and we have converted this algorithm into program. Once you know the algorithm, you can convert that algorithm into any programming language. That's why I'm basically focusing on the algorithm and flowchart. So let's compile this program. Let's run this program. Alt C, no warning, no errors. Alt R, run. See, it is asking me for age. Now I am pressing 1 second. Let me run it again. Okay, okay. So it is not /n, it is /n. 1 sec, let me correct. Correct. So your age is 40. So yes. So here basically this line int age is nothing but data type. We in the program execution we basically now moving back to the slide. Okay. So yes. So, so these are some common data types which are required. So basically you might need an age. So age is generally we will use integer type for the age, and this is how we declare the variable int followed by age, or you can give anything, some age, depending on your task. You can define the name of the variable. Okay, but the type is int because we want an integer, and the format to read or print that integer is %d. Okay, now there are so many common types which are available, which are shown here. Basically you can read or print a character, then you can read or print an integer value, a long value means basically these are the ranges of the integer or characters. If any value is greater than this, then you cannot use the integer value, and then you have to go to long. If any value is even bigger than this, then you have to go to long integer, and so on. Again, there is a signed and unsigned concept. So what is that signed and unsigned concept? Let's say character is assigned. Okay, its memory, allocated memory is 1 byte, and its range is -128 to +127. So yeah. Okay, so when we are using unsigned character, basically there is no sign, means all values are positive. So it starts from 0 to some of these things, basically 255. Same way for integer, the range is minus this to plus this, and the moment we say unsigned integer, again it start from 0 to the higher number, which is like summation of these two, absolute summation of these two, we can say. Yeah, so this is the difference between signed and unsigned type. Now all these types are either character or integer values with a higher range. What about the decimal values? So for decimal values we have different data types like float, double, long. These are the one as shown in my slides. You have to have this, and as and when we will move ahead with different programs, we will be using it with some example, and then you will be more familiar with it. So yeah, thank you for watching the third video here. Stay tuned with the Nishka Tech Academy.